Hey, this is motivational speaker Andy Henriquez. I want to start off by asking you a question. Have you ever stopped right before your blessing? I mean, right before you finally accomplished that thing that you've been pursuing, right before you finally got that promotion, right before that person finally told you yes, or right before you finally got that breakthrough. And here's what I know. If you did, you probably don't even know it. Why? Because you missed the blessing. You know, I was thinking about this. It was about a month ago. I was driving to an event and I reached this intersection, and about 5 cars ahead of me, there was this homeless man that was going from vehicle to vehicle asking for money. And I started digging down in my pocket and I was looking for some money to give this guy, and I noticed I didn't have any small bills. I had nothing but larger bills. And I made a decision, you know, when this guy gets to my car, I'm going to give him one of these larger bills, you know. And here this guy is walking. He's about 3 cars ahead of me. And I look at him again. He's about 2 cars ahead of me. And before he makes it over to my truck, he literally stops dead in his tracks. And he walks over to the median. And before I could even put the window down and call him over to my car, the light changed and I drove off. And I started thinking to myself that this guy literally stopped right before his blessing. And then I started wondering to myself, how many times have I possibly stopped right before my blessing? And here's what I say to you, that maybe right now you're pursuing something that you've been working on, and you've been putting in the time and the energy and the effort, and you've become discouraged. And you've been considering quitting. You've been considering giving it up. You've been considering that maybe you're going to hang it up. Maybe this is just not going to work out for you. And what I want to remind you is, don't stop before the blessing. You see, because here's what I know. The blessing may be right around the corner. The blessing may be waiting for you. And all you have to do is just hang in there just a little bit longer. And here's what I realized. The reason why we stop right before the blessing is oftentimes because we do what we feel as opposed to what we know. You see, here's what I know, that there's a strong probability that the reason why that guy didn't keep walking is because he felt tired, or maybe he felt discouraged, or maybe he felt like nobody else was going to give him some money. And sometimes when you're on that journey and you're working on this thing or this dream or this goal, you feel tired. You feel discouraged. You feel as if it's no longer worth it. But what I say to you is to do what you know and not what you feel. You see, what you know is that your dream is worth it. What you know is you've already put in the time, so you might as well keep going. What you know is it's the only way that you'll really be happy and satisfied with your life is if you make this thing happen. So what I say to you is this: if you're feeling tired, if you're considering talking yourself out of it, or maybe even entertaining the idea of quitting, don't stop before your blessing, because it just might be right around the corner. This has been Andy Henriquez reminding you to always show up for your life. Because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, no one else will.